Well, good morning everybody. Linda Ray, Texas Girls Farm. And as you can see, I'm down by the pond. I can't even see over there, but it does have water still in it. I was down here, I brought water for the weeping willow. It's hanging in there, but I see some new growth on the inside limbs. So that's a good sign. Yeah, Brooke and I had checked on it when she was over here. I see a few more limbs looking like they need to be trimmed off, but came down here and trimmed all around, pulled the grass up around the cantaloupes and stuff like that. These aren't doing as well as the ones up by the garden, but they're living. So I'm going to take y'all up and show y'all what transpired yesterday. But y'all can see how high the grass is. Maggie, you can barely see Maggie's head. My back has been hurting all week, so that's why I haven't got on the mower. But I'm going to take y'all up to the house and show y'all what 2.5 hours and 9 guys can get done. Yeah, you can see how tall everything is. So I'll pick y'all back up, Maggie, when we get back up there. Well, before we went back up the house, I wanted to show y'all. You can tell that's where the brush pile is. But y'all remember what was laying down right here? And right there, I'm not going any further. Right there is the stump of it. I don't know if I can drive the side by side in there yet or not, but they cut it off right there, and I just wanted them to leave it laying, and we were going to move it, but they moved it too. And then when I get around there, I will show y'all the new improved brush pile. As you can see, the pile has grown tremendously. That's 9 additional trees, and you can tell, excuse me, how big those right there are the ones that were in the middle. I just tried to drive in the back there. I will drive back around there and I'll show y'all. Hang on. Well, made a path. I really hate to walk up in there, but I lost my rakes. But I don't know if I lost my rakes up in there. I would think I lost my rakes up in there because of the trees that were giving me a hard time. But yeah, I think I lost both of them. Yeah, I did. The yellow handled one, I'm gonna have to get my boots on and come back down here because there's ants down here too. Well, that's just special. But you can see I ran over some trees, so I think I lost them up there. God, I hate driving up there. I hate walking up there. All right, we're gonna go up and we'll show you what got taken care of, and hopefully I didn't tear nothing up underneath. Come on, June. Come on, load up. Well, there's Maggie. We made back up here. Ugh, I gotta go back down there. I may take my cutters and cut some of them little trees, but I'm gonna get my boots on. But as you can tell, some's gone. Look, some's gone over there too, and the one that is bending over is gone. So I'll take y'all all the way around and show y'all. And they cleaned up all my brush piles. They did a really good job. They could have went ahead and cut these down, but look. Now I may cut all these. I'm not for sure yet. I think those two are elms. I'm not for sure about that one, but they cut it all down. There's just a few things, but I'm not complaining. Y'all know how big the pile behind me was, but look how big those trees were. Massive. massive trees. And they got that one. And they took that one down. There was a hole in the middle of that one. I came out here this morning and tried to put a little bit of water on some of this dirt. Hopefully get the grass. They ran off with my other rake. So now I'm in a heap of a mess because my other 2 rakes I done lost down there in the thing. Hopefully I haven't ran over them and tore them up. But they got that one down. There's still a limb there. And I'll probably cut that tree, maybe cut that fargleberry. They only broke a branch on this, and I'll need to come back and cut it. And then they cleaned up that pile for me. And then the dogwood that was pretty much dead that I couldn't get the other, that's where they were dropping all the trees, so they just went ahead and took that out. I'll probably cut that down too, since it looks like it had some damage, but that oak's okay. But yeah, all in all, I mean, look at what a good job. I mean, an excellent job. Opened it all up. There's a few straggling limbs. There's one there, and I think there's one up there. Chickens have already been out today, and then the hawk came down. So I put them back up, and I seen her when I was down there with the Whippoorwill. But wanted to show y'all. Open up there where that dead one was, and they dropped that one laying straight that way. But this one, I cut the top. Remember, it was all leaning over this direction. It was interesting. I had to go inside because he was making me nervous. He climbed up that tree, had it bent over so far this way, and he was slowly backing up, limbing it. I was like, yeah, that's too much. That's too scary. I got to go in. But yeah, got the top cut out of that one. He wanted to take the whole thing down, but he said he'd just get it to where the limbs were. I thought he was going to take it a little bit lower, but that's fine. I mean, it's still, the tree's still alive, so it's no biggin', and it's out of the way. Got a little more daylight in here. Mercy. But looks so much better. Now the grass will get a little more sunlight in here, and it'll grow. And then I've planted grass, and I might have told you, I don't know. I planted grass seed, and you can see it's all coming up. Even up here where Junior's at, there's a lot of, come on, Junior. There's a lot coming up. Plus, I dug some up out of the driveway and plugged it, and it's still doing real good. So hopefully the grass will come on. But I'm going to get my boots on and go see if I can find, the rakes. Be right back. Well, I found them, and the barbed wire was wrapped up with them too. So we got them. Plus, we went and drove through some more trees down there after, not on that side, on the other side. But yeah, it looks so good. Now I just have to make a decision if I want to cut down those elms out there. I wanted to bring my bucket, so when I need to go water some more, I can. But now that big old limb ain't hanging anymore. It just looks so much better. And they dropped the majority of them over there. That one there. And then the other one back that way. And y'all can see what a good job they did cleaning up. Really proud. Victor, P-A-L-I-C-I-O-U-S Tree Service out of Tyler, Texas. If I can remember, I'll take a picture of the card and insert it about right up at the top. But yeah, I got my flip-flops on because it's gotten so hot and it's time. The dogs were ready to go in. But I just wanted to talk for a minute and catch y'all up and see some of the zinnias. I just watered these before I went down. The zinnias are blooming. white and pink, and then those down there are blooming. And the echinaceas, they're still hanging on. Not doing as well as I wish they were, but they are growing. And the plants down there are growing good. The bee balm's still alive. I don't know if that's a woodpecker or what, talking. And I just filled up the bird feeder. There were some hungry birds, but you can tell how tall the grass is. It needs to be cut. It's heading out. I did mow this. Brooke and Addie came over. It's a Sunday morning, and I got her pen mowed, and you can see it's already grown back up. And she got so scared, she pulled the doghouse off of the base when they were dropping trees right here. But I'll go and fix that. But yeah, they came over Sunday morning, and we were just going to hang out and do a little bit of stuff. And I think they had been here. Oh, and look, got me some little flowers to go in there. They were just going to hang out, and they're probably here maybe 20 minutes. And we got a phone call from my brother-in-law. And my sister had been at a barrel race. She had went Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And I didn't find out till after the fact. She carried 3 horses. She had already ran 2 of the horses, and she was riding lows, and when she got hurt. Anyway, my brother-in-law called me, told me that she was over at the Athens pen, and she'd been hurt, and they said it's pretty bad. Well, me and Brooke and Addie load up, because I knew if she was real bad, not only were we going to have to tend to her and make sure she was okay, but we had to tend to the horses. So we got there. Thank goodness it's only like 20 minutes from here, the pen in Athens. I got there, they had her in an ambulance, and why they were so concerned was because she actually had been knocked out, and she was unconscious in the arena for quite a while. And when she came to, she kept repeating and asking the same questions over and over again. I wasn't there for that, but I was there in the ambulance, and she wasn't wanting to go to the hospital, and she was complaining of her shoulder hurting, and yeah, she was just, not quite there. I mean, physically she looked okay. She had a cut that had blood on her forehead. I think she hit the saddle horn with her right above, on her forehead, right above her, in between her eyebrows. So I called my mom, got my mom to head on the way to the hospital. One of her friends that had basically been there with her from the get-go had gave me a rundown of everything that happened. And she kept arguing with us. She wasn't going to the hospital. I'm like, yeah, you need to at least go get checked out. I said, to make sure you don't have a concussion, which we're pretty much sure she did have a concussion. So I was just glad that she was awake and conscious when we got there. So they got her all taken care of in the ambulance, and matter of fact, I think the ambulance was still, no, they had already left. Me and Brooke, one of the Cardinals, Brooke and Addie, thank goodness the girls have their driver's license, drove my truck. We loaded all 3 horses, and the ladies that she was parked to helped us get everything, and thank everybody over there. I think one of them was Bobby Sue and Laura Ann Ward. They're from this, she's known them forever. They helped get, water buckets and stuff like that, and get everything taken care of. We loaded the horses up, got them home, got them turned out, got the trucker trailer all secured, and then we turned around and went straight back to the hospital. And my mom had shown up there right after the ambulance, so we wound up staying there. Now this was about a little bit before lunchtime, so I'm thinking they got her to the hospital probably around 1 o'clock. They did CT scans of everything, and they said they were clear. Yep. Nope, they were not. Yesterday she went, because she was in so much pain with her shoulder and arm, her right arm, that she said something's not right. Something's got to be broke or something. And oh, sorry about that. I was trying to show the birds. And thank goodness she had self-awareness. My brother-in-law and her went up to ER Hospitality. They did another scan, and yes, she has got a fracture. And I don't know if the fracture is actually in her arm or up on her shoulder or around her collarbone, because she was complaining of some neck pain too. But she's home safe. Look at him. He's just looking. He's just looking all the time. I'm sorry, I didn't even pay attention, and it makes it a little blurry, but I just love watching them. But she's home. She's probably gonna be home for 4 to 6 weeks. She's got to go to an orthopedic specialist, I think, and find out what can or cannot be done. And if y'all remember, her channel is Wright Farm. Anyway, she's been posting a bunch of shorts because she's got baby calves on the ground, and they're just the cutest little things. So if you get a chance, go show her some love. Tell her that her sister sent you. Yeah, she's got, I think there's been 2 or 3 born in the last few weeks, but they're just beautiful. But yeah, so we wind up staying at the hospital till almost 6 o'clock. I let Brooke and Addie leave and take my truck because they needed to go pick something up in Tyler. And I stayed there with Mom and Sis, and then my niece, Sky, my sister's daughter, showed up. She had actually just got off of duty, and or wasn't quite off duty, and told them she had to go. So we all, Sis rode with us, and we got her home. And yeah, I'm just thanking God that she is okay. And I'll try to explain what happened. If you've ever seen barrel racing, there's a cloverleaf pattern that the horses have to run. Well, she had already went around the first and the second. She said the prettiest second barrel she had ever turned, and she was so happy that her horse was doing well. And when she went around the third, she went to grab the saddle horn, and she missed the saddle horn with her hand. And the reason she grabs that saddle horn with her right hand is to help hold her in the saddle, because the mare, the gray mare she was riding, Losing, powers out of that third barrel so hard that you got to have a hold on. Or like what happened Sunday, she threw her all the way behind the saddle. So now my sister is riding her horse on the horse's butt, right behind the cantle of the saddle, trying to reach back up and grab a hold of the saddle horn to pull herself up. But by this time, the mare is like, well, wait a minute, something's back there on my butt. Not supposed to be on my butt. I think my sister might have accidentally kicked her in the flank. And if y'all know anything about horses, when you get a leg in a flank, well, that helps them buck too. And needless to say, they said that horse just started bucking and bucking and bucking and bucking. My sister cannot remember, because Losing is not a horse that bucks. But Losing is also a horse that they've never rode double on. So we don't know if it was a kick in the flank or that she was back behind the saddle or what. But yeah. So at some point when the rodeo ride was going on, from what they say, when she was trying to reach up for the saddle horn, the horse, I guess, was bucking and throwing her up. She actually hit her head on the saddle horn, and she immediately fell to the ground and was unconscious. So it could have been a whole lot worse than it was. And I just thank God for his hedge of protection over her in that event, and hopefully that she will have healing soon. And yeah, it was an adventurous day, thanks to my sister. I'm just thankful that she's okay. But she said something when we were in the emergency room. 2 days in a row, she had this dream or premonition or something that she saw herself actually in the back of an ambulance, sitting, laying on a stretcher, sitting up, looking at her boots. And I was like, what? She said, yeah. She said, I actually saw myself in that ambulance. I said, well, next time you have those dreams or premonitions or whatever, I said, you might want to act on them and say, maybe not today, or actually have some other people there with you. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for her not riding for a while, but she went through it. I don't know if y'all know, she went through it when I was at the point in the house of putting some of the flooring down, and she had come down here and hung out with me because she had hurt her elbow, and she hurt her elbow while she was at work because she don't know how she did it, you know, and she's a real route mail carrier, and that right arm, which is what's the problem now, is her working arm, you know, out that window, opening and closing mailboxes, putting mail in, closing the thing, you know, not to mention all the driving and sitting. So if you don't mind, say some prayers for my sister. Go over and show her some love on her channel, Wright Barnes, and I'll try to put the little screenshot of her YouTube channel and just check out some baby calves. And I hope y'all are as excited as I am to finally see all those dead trees down. All the dangers gone. So we don't have to worry about anything falling on the house or anything like that. Alright, if y'all like the content, y'all know what to do. Hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, come on over to the channel and subscribe. We'd love to have you. And hit that notification bell so every time we upload a video, you'll be notified. And y'all stay safe. I know there's bad weather up around the northeast, and I think we may get some remnants of whatever's blowing into the Gulf. Yeah, y'all notice I said Gulf, not Gulf of, either or. And hopefully we'll get a little bit of rain, and I'll get the belt put back on the lawnmower. I need to take it off because, I mean, it did not break like I thought it did. It just came off. I'll get the new belt on so I can get this mowed. And I'll probably mow it high and then wait a few days and then go back and mow it a little lower. But get it mowed. Yeah. Alright. Turned out to be a little bit longer video than I anticipated. But I hope y'all enjoy everything that in 2.5 hours of work, 9 guys on the crew got done. Where that one big tree that we cut up that's down there, that big hickory that was probably, I know it was bigger than that at the base. It was bigger, that had fell down there in front of the greenhouse, that it took me, my brother-in-law and sister, like pretty much all day long. So it's a true appreciation. Yes, you have to pay for it. It's not cheap, but at some point you have to make the hard decisions. And yeah, I was ready to make a hard decision because especially the tree right here needed to come down. I didn't want it destroying structure or killing an animal. And the others, you know, didn't want it taking out the water spigot or falling and hitting the house or falling on somebody's vehicle. So yeah, I guess in the long run, it's a whole lot cheaper than it would be for an expensive, any of that happen. Okay, well, y'all have a good day, and we'll catch y'all on the next one.